Back in the 1980s, in the pre-internet world, if a band wanted to get their music heard, the only real way was to get on the radio. So when radio stations selected music, they were also deciding which music would be heard and which bands would be successful. In order to support the local industry, there was quite broad support for local content rules to prevent radio stations from just simply playing whatever was big in the USA. In early 1988, the Australian Broadcasting Tribunal, which controlled radio licences in Australia, released a new policy in relation to local content. The key passage went like this: although incentives will not be offered for the broadcasting of new recordings, new independent material, and station-originated music, which the Tribunal wishes to encourage, it proposes at licence renewal to request stations to supply evidence that they have used a significant amount of this material. If stations cannot demonstrate the use of this material, conditions may then be placed on a licence in order to encourage the use of new releases, new independent recordings, and station-produced material, depending on the relevance of this material to the station's format. In other words, if you don't play enough local Aussie content, then we will reach in and impose conditions on your licence, or potentially even take your licence away. This was obviously concerning for the station operators, but the rule left a lot unsaid. How much content was needed? And how was it affected by station format? And what conditions would be imposed? Ballarat Broadcasters challenged the decision. The court pretty much echoed their concerns, agreeing that the new condition was broad and unhelpful. In addition, though, the court found that the tribunal had not directly stated where it obtained the power to impose these conditions, and therefore the conditions could not be tested for their validity within any such power. Justice Davies said, because the ABT has not specified, and it is impossible to infer what power the ABT has exercised, the result of the exercise of power is uncertain. Such an exercise of power is an improper exercise of power. From this case, we learn that in the exercise of a power, it should be clear what power is being used and how it is being used. An uncertain use of power is an improper exercise of that power.